Hello, welcome to the Crispin Flintoff YouTube channel, where you'll find plenty of political insights, humour and much more. Here we're talking about the party conferences. Please comment and let me know what you think.
After conference, what better way to unwind than to have a nice game of cards?
Georgie, Porgy, Pudding and Pie kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Jeremy Corbyn ran away.
I don't think that you can stifle debate on a matter like this.
I'm not trying to stifle debate, Mr. Chairman. Your ruling makes a point better than I of how this conference is stage managed from start to finish.
The conference has always been a bit of a PR opportunity, but the fringe events used to be a place where you'd have real debate and argument, and sometimes people would fall out in a major way. Just look at this clip of Dennis Skinner and Neil Kinnock.
And let me give you a warning about hit lists. Anybody of left or right. Well, you see, I've got this almost unique good fortune. I was on just about everybody's hit list and I got elected.
Well, Neil and everybody, some of us have been on hit lists all his lives. You're always on somebody. Apart from them that ride up the middle of the road, oh no. Oh, I know the road ahead. And it's right down that left wing and you mustn't veer at all. You've got to be able to answer the problems when they're thrown at you. Be big enough, don't worry about them. God almighty, fancy an MP being worried about being on a hit list. 14,000 quid a year and on a hit list? It's not possible, is it? No. Of course it isn't. We understand it. And I understand it as well as any, because I saw it in its harshest terms when I was down the pit in Derbyshire. And when I'm worried about somebody stabbing me in the back in those plush corridors of the House of Commons, I think about those 3-foot seams, the hacking away, the injuries, the mauling, the class conflict that should sustain us all when we get down there. We're lucky to be able to have that opportunity to be on some tin pot parliamentary hit list.
The careerists in the Labour Party have been around for years, and recently we saw the end of 10 Labour Party MPs when they joined Change UK or the Lib Dems or whatever group it is now. When I was in Bolton for Stand Up for Labour in February, I met Mick and he had the best put down for that group of MPs.
They're nothing more than neoliberal careerist ladder climbers. I'm a guy from a council estate, born into the working class, brought up in the working class as a trade unionist, and from a family of Labour voters, staunch Labour voters, who were left behind by these people when they were in the last Labour government. They are the reason for the creation of UKIP. They are the reason for the creation of so much hatred in our society today. And I'm not going to hold back on that. I'm telling the truth, because I still live on a council estate and I now live among working class fascists that they created. They have no concern whatsoever for those they deem below them. They are only concerned about their own careers, and they are economists. They're no different than the Tories, and they're more bothered about a seat on a multinational board or a bank than somebody lying homeless and sleeping on the streets. The NHS, the welfare state, is socialism. They have deserted that, because that today is what we are fighting to keep.
Don Biswas has his own take on this stuff.
do as a comedian, I do political gags. That's all. For example, a Labour, a Liberal Democrat and a Conservative supporter walks into a bar, to which the barman says, "What can I get you, Chukaramuna?"
The Conservative Party conference has seen every speaker take every opportunity they can to smear the Labour Party as anti-Semitic.
And how on earth can we let a man who's indulged, accommodated and excused the most terrible anti-Semitism...
He is a man who claims to have spent his entire career fighting racism, only to allow such virulent anti-Jewish racism to proliferate.
The truth of the matter is much more complicated. In fact, it's very difficult to talk about it, so I'll leave it to Don Biswas.
I get depressed about the state of world politics, especially within our Labour Party, because there's apparently an anti-Semitism scandal and there's pockets of racism, but the problem is people are getting anti-Semitism mixed up with anti-Zionism. Yes. Now, let me tell you where I stand. I'm not an anti-Zionist, but I'm not a Zionist either. If you don't know what Zionism is, it's a determination for the Jewish people to have their own homeland, Israel, and I agree with that, but not at the expense of expelling Palestinians. I don't believe in a religious nationalism, like my parents' homeland of India, where they had to flee their village because of religious reasons, because everyone in that village was Sikh, and they were hairdressers.
But what about the last card in the pack? What about Boris Johnson? How is he getting away with everything scot-free? From what I've heard, he's a bit of a sexual maniac.
Prime Minister, it has been alleged that you touched the thigh of a woman at a lunch without her permission. Did you? Are you suggesting, you're saying it didn't happen, that she made it up?
What is Dominic Cummings going to do to stop Boris Johnson making an almighty cock-up based on his cock?
What is the strategy? What do you think it is?
The best strategy for Dominic Cummings is to make Boris Johnson come clean. Once again, we have to go back to the 1980s for a perfect example of that.
George Best was a well-loved football player, and he knew how to come clean on this whole issue, as you'll see from this clip.
Is this live?
Oh, 'tis very. Well, almost. Yeah.
Terry, I like screwing, all right?
All right. So what do you do with your time these days?
Screw.
I see.
There you have it. That's what Cummings has got to do. He's got to get Johnson on a live TV chat show, get him to confess, and then the chances are there'll be a general election soon, the Tories will lose, and he can concentrate on his track and field career, and then he can pick up a proper medal, not just a lanyard from the Conservative Party conference. Have you thought about subscribing to my YouTube channel? Why not give it a go?